Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning everyone. The Honorable Mrs. Nandi, as the Supervisor of Sign Language Community, the Honorable our speakers of today's agenda, and all of our participants today. Welcome to the Sign Language Workshop. Perceive the sense of humanity through sign language. Before going to the main event, let me introduce myself first. My name is Naufal Daffa, and it is an honor to me to be the Master of Ceremony and also the moderator of today's workshop. Okay, in today's event, we have several agenda. The first one is opening, and the second, introduction of the speakers, third, the delivery of speech by the speakers, then the practice of sign language leads by the speakers, and last but not least, the closing. So before we start the workshop, I'd like to introduce the speakers first. The first speaker is Ms. Harumingga as the President of Sign Language Community. The second speaker is Ms. Dinda as the Vice President of Sign Language Community. And the last one is Ms. Syifa, the Senior Trainer of Sign Language Community. Then without any further ado, I'd like to invite Ms. Harumingga to deliver the first material. So, Ms. Harumingga, please welcome, the floor is yours.
Hi, my name is Harumingga, and I would like to deliver you to introduce you about sign language. So, what do you think about hearing some terms of sign language? Some of you might think that sign language is only restricted by this kind of movement like finger signs or something. In simple way, sign language is a language that employs signs with the hands and other movement, including facial expression and postures of the body, also mainly used by deaf or people if needed. Around the world, there are types of single sign language. In fact, almost every country has their own sign language, including Indonesia. And how was the birth of sign language? So, even though the early steps in creating of an official for the deaf were taken in Spain, the first formal sign language was actually developed in France. Charles Michel de Lep, a French priest, was an early ardent advocate for deaf rights. In 1755, he established the original public school for deaf, and in the Institution National des Sourds Muets at Paris, this was the first systematic and organized approach to the student and education of the deaf, and it led to L.E.P. for being referred to as a father of the deaf. The students came to the institute from all over the country, and they brought with them signs that they had used to communicate at home. L.E.P. adapted these signs along with a manual alphabet and created a sign language dictionary. This standardized sign language is now referred to as Old French Sign Language and quickly spread across the Europe and to the United States. Used in worldwide is ASL, or American Sign Language. And there are CB, or we call it Sistem Isyarat Bahasa Indonesia, and Bisindo, or Bahasa Isyarat Indonesia. ASL, CB, and Bisindo have some similarities and differences. But today we will not talk about these types of sign language. Today, the reason why learning sign language will be delivered by my partner, Dinda.
Then giving applause to Miss Harumingga. Thank you for your knowledge. Then move to the second material that will be delivered by Miss Dinda. So, Miss Dinda is welcome. Please come, and the floor is yours.
Hi, good morning everyone. My name is Adellia Dinda and I'm glad to be here, and I want to talk about the reason why learning sign language is important. And I have 4 points. The first one is, it is all around us. The deaf community is very large and it is throughout the world. Sign language can appear in any kind of situation. Whether you are an educator like teacher, lecturer, or service provider like counselor, psychologist, or medical professional, or even a student, or we as an ordinary people. It can appear all around us. And I'll tell you something, it is better to be prepared. The second point is, sign language makes us a better listener. When using sign language, a person must take a part in eye contact with the person who is speaking. Unlike a spoken language, you cannot just listening and ignoring the speaker. That is because when you use sign language, the communication is not only by hand movement, but also facial expression and the posture of the body. For example, when you want to ask, what is your name? In sign language, we use your name what's, like your name what's. You need to make a curious face expression in the word what's. Therefore, the message will be delivered successfully. By maintaining eye contact, that means you are truly interested what is the other are saying. And then the next point is, sign language is helpful for people in need. We all know that sign language is extremely important communication for deaf community or hard of hearing people. But there are also people who use sign language as their native language, like people with autism or special disorder. Some children with autism or special disorder are often struggle developing verbal communication. So, listening to sign language can be helpful for them to be heard. And finally, the last point is, it is beautiful. When someone you love cannot hear, sign language is a great way to keep communication in a meaningful way. It is also the best way to develop awareness and sensitivity toward deaf or hard of hearing community. Sign language teaches us about patience, tolerance, diversity, and many more. It is just beautiful when we communicate with using sign language with people who use sign language as their native language, and we see their face brighter and their eyes light up. It's beautiful. Sign language creates our sensitivity of humanity. So that is the reason why learning sign language is important. Hopefully with this will increase your interest in learning sign language. Thank you.
Give an applause to Miss Dinda. So, thank you, Miss Dinda, for your knowledge. And the next agenda of today's workshop is the practice of sign language together, that will be led by the speakers, Miss Syifa. So, please welcome Miss Syifa.
Some of you might already familiar with the movements I did earlier. It says hello, good morning, how are you? My name is Syifa, Syifa. Nice to meet you, and goodbye. After listening to the definition and understanding the importance of learning sign language, are you excited to get started practicing sign language together? I hope so. Today we will be learning two very important yet very simple components of sign language, that is basic words and alphabet. What I did earlier is the combination between those components. I used basic greetings and used alphabet to spell my names. Okay, there are several basic words that we will learn today, and all of the words are very simple. The hardest part is actually to remember the movements. I will demonstrate the movement first, and I want all of you to follow me. Do you understand? Okay, let's start from hello. There are two options of signing hello. You can go either like this or like this. It's up to you. Please say hello to your friend next to you. Hello or hello. The next one is goodbye. There are also two options of saying goodbye. You can go like this or like this. It's the same. Please say goodbye to your friend next to you. Goodbye or goodbye. And the next one is yes and no sign. The movement goes like this. This for yes and this for no. You knock twice. And for the movement for no sign, we use 3 fingers for no. Please say yes and no to your friend next to you. Yes and no. After these yes and no movements, I want all of you, every time I ask whether all of you are understand or not, I want all of you to answer with this movement or this movement. Can you do that? Perfect. Shall we repeat it from the first? Okay, start from hello, hello, or hello. The next one is goodbye, goodbye, or goodbye. The next one is yes. And the last one is no. Perfect. We will move to another line. Start from signing thank you. First, put your hand in front of your mouth like this and pull it away. It says thank you. Please say thank you to your friend next to you. Thank you. The next one is the movement for you're welcome. First, take your hand like this, make a like salute position, and swing it to your chest. It says you're welcome. I repeat, you're welcome. Please say it to your friend next to you. You're welcome. Next is the word please. The movement is like this. Put your hand on your chest like this and make a circle. It says please. The movement is also like this for the word sorry. The difference is only on your hand shape. For please, your hand is widespread. Take it to your chest and make a circle. But if you want to say sorry, make your hand into fist, put in your chest, and go around. It says sorry. Please say please and sorry to your friend next to you. Please and sorry. Do you understand? Shall we repeat it from the first? Okay, start from thank you. The first one is thank you. Thank you. Next one is you're welcome. You're welcome. Next is please. Please. And the last one is sorry. Sorry. Perfect. And that's from basic words. There are still lots of sign language for basic words, but for today's workshop we will limit to these words only. These are the other example of another basic words in sign language. Oh, and I want to point out something. The sign for I love you. So in sign language, the expression for I love you is simply signed by this. It says I love you. Some people say that this sign stands for I love you, but I don't know whether it is true or not. The most interesting part is while other people like commonly use this sign or this sign to say I love you, just like K-pop idols or Western artists or Indonesian artists, I see the interesting part that there are a lot of Thailand artists that use this sign to say I love you to their fans. I don't know the reason, but for me personally, I really appreciate it. Okay, let's move on to the next part, that is alphabet. Some of you might already learn this in Scout when you were in high school, and there are various kinds of alphabet in sign language, but the most commonly used is in ASL or American Sign Language. What we will learn today is also alphabet in ASL or American Sign Language. There are 26 alphabets, so I will divide it into several parts so that we can learn it easily. All of the movement is require only one hand, so we only use one hand. Okay, start from the first part. Oh, before that, please tell me if I'm going too fast or is there anything that you don't understand. Okay, let's start from the first part. There are 5 alphabets. There's A, B, C, D, and E. Start from A. The movement for A is like this. You make a fist, but your thumb is point up like this. A. The next one is B. B is like this. Use your 4 fingers except your thumb. This for B. The next one is C. Just simply make your hand in a C shape. C. And for D is also goes like C, like this. Just make your hand into D shape. This D. And for E goes like this. And that's until E. Shall we repeat it from A? Okay. A, B, C, D, and E. Okay, and move on to the next part, that is F, G, H, and I. For F sign, like this. Just like when you make like an OK sign. This stands for F. The next one is G. G, you just require only 1 finger and point out to your, your right. It stands for G. And for H, you just add your fingers into 2 fingers and also point out to your right. It says H. The next one is I. I, you can just require only your pinky finger. It stands for I. Okay, let's repeat from the first, that is F, F, G, H, and I. Okay, let's move on to the next part. There are also 5 alphabets. There is J, K, L, M, and N. Start from J. At I, your finger is like this. And for J, you just swing it like this. It stands for J. Shall we repeat it? J. The next one is K. You make a V sign and put your thumbs in the middle of your fingers. It stands for K. The next one is L. L, you just simply make your hand like this. It stands for L. The next one is M. M is like this. Put your thumbs in the hole like this. It stands for M. The next one is N. And just move your thumbs into the next hole. That is N. This stands for N. Let's repeat it from J. J, K, L, M, and N. Okay, the next part is for O, P, Q, and R. For the alphabet O, just make your hand in the shape just like O, like this. And for P, it's kind of little bit difficult because your finger goes like this. It stands for P, just like this, P. The next one is Q. Make your fingers like this and point up like this. It stands for Q. The next one is R. R is like this. This is for R. Okay, let's repeat. From O. O, P, Q, and R. Okay, let's move on to the next part. That is S, T, U, and V. For S, you just simply make your hand into fist like this. It stands for S. The next one is T. Actually, there are two options of signing T alphabet. You can either go like this or like this. But the commonly used is like this for T alphabet. Okay. The next one is U. It's very simple. You just need your two fingers like this. And for the V alphabet, you just spread it into V sign, just like when you post in your photos. Okay, let's repeat from S, S, T, U, and V. Okay, for the last part is for W, X, Y, and Z. For W alphabet, you just need your three fingers, just like this. It stands for W. The next is X. X is like this. Like this. It's for X. The next one is Y. Y is like this. Just like a font symbol. Y. And the last one is Z. Z goes like this. You make a shape of Z. You can go either like use one finger or two fingers. It's up to you. It's the same for the alphabet Z. Okay, let's repeat from W, W, X, Y, and Z. Okay, we've done all the parts, so we will repeat it from the first. We'll repeat it from A. Are you ready? Okay, let's start. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and the last Z. Okay, give a big applause for all of us. Beside all of the practice we did today, you can also expand your and broaden your knowledge on this subject. You can use like various platforms such as social media, YouTube, and website, and also application. Is it fun today? I hope you enjoyed the practice we did today. Okay, thank you for your participation. Thank you, and see you.
Well. Thank you, Miss Syifa, for the knowledge that you have shared to all the participants in today's workshop. Well, What an incredible workshop we had. There are so much things to learn, so many new things to do, and so much fun we did. Thank you to the speakers, thank you to the honorable guests, and thank you to all the participants who have stayed here a long day and actively participated to the sequence of today's workshop. I'm sorry if there are mistakes in my word, and sorry for the inconvenience in this workshop. Finally, we come to an end. Let's close this workshop by praying together, shall we? Thank you for coming, and I hope you all get the benefits from our workshop today, and see you in the next workshop we conduct in the future. Good evening.